Weve at WCCFAM.com. I'd like to welcome to the studio Charlotte County Sheriff Bill Prummell. Sheriff, how you doing today?
Good. Thanks for having me, Ken.
Good. Thanks for coming in. And kind of coinciding with the article in the Sun today.
Yes. Yeah, we had the press come out to do a little tour. You know, there was a lot of questions on what's been going on with the jail. Mm-hmm. So I invited them all out and took them on a personal tour.
Cool.
Tried to answer all their questions.
Cool. Did you lock any of them up? Keep them in there?
There's a few I would have liked to, but...
So how have you enjoyed your term as sheriff thus far? Has it been a rewarding experience, or has it hit you, blindsided you with stuff that you didn't expect?
Yeah, overall, yes. I still love the job very, very much. I love the organization. I love this county. I hate the politics. The politics, quite frankly, suck.
Yeah. I have to agree
and
with
yes,
that.
you know, I've had Sheriff Davenport and Cameron tell me in the past, because they knew what my aspirations were, and they said, be careful what you wish for. And, you know, you don't know until you're actually sitting in a seat. Mm-hmm. And they're right. Until you're actually sitting there, you don't know.
Yeah, and that's regardless of any command position, elected position, yes. There's a lot of responsibility and a lot of weight that winds up landing on you that you might not have expected. So going up again, as always, the sheriff's race is the kind of like the biggest race of the election cycle.
Yes.
A lot of competitors out there this year. What do you feel are some of your that you deserve kudos for, that you need to be acknowledged for, and what do you see going forward that you want to continue to work on?
Well, we've done a lot of great things here in the organization. One of the things I was able to do is working with the schools and with the Board of County Commissioners, I was able to put school resource officers back in all our schools. After the Sandy Hook incident, I heard a lot from parents in the county, mm-hmm. and they were asking for it, and we were able to work it out and get it budgeted back in. So we're doing things along that line. We're trying to stay on top of our accreditations, our PREA compliance. We got our first gold standard CALIA accreditation that was awarded to us. We're accredited through the Florida Corrections. So we were I think the second county in the state to be PREA compliance. That's the Prison Rape Elimination Act. Mm-hmm. So we're doing real well with trying to maintain and lead the way in law enforcement and detention services, trying to think ahead. Also, my first 3 years in office, you know, when I came in, I said we were going to focus on community policing and intelligence-led policing, trying to work smarter, not harder. Mm-hmm. And the first 3 years, we've seen a 26% decrease in crime. Actually, if you go on Niche and look it up, you can see we've all heard that Punta Gorda was ranked the number 2 safest city, safest city in the in Florida. Well, Charlotte County is ranked number 2 safest county in Florida. So we're doing really well there. Now,
yeah, you do. We do see that, and how you see what's going on in Lee County, in portions of the Fort Myers area, and you see what's going on up in Sarasota County and up in Tampa. How hard is it to prevent that from leaching into Charlotte County?
Well, what we try and do is we work very closely with the other counties, and we keep tabs on their serious and habitual offenders and violent offenders, and we try and keep tabs if we find out that they're coming down this way. And we use some of our technology that we have. We're able to track that. So if they're coming down this way, everybody has heard a lot about these VeriPlate systems, these plate reader systems. Mm-hmm. Well, we can enter a name into this system, and if it happens, this person happens to pass our VeriPlate, we're going to get alerted that they're in our county, so we can kind of keep an eye out for them. So, you know, we're trying to use technology to catch our criminals because they're using technology to commit their crimes nowadays. So
kind of let the people know about that.
Yeah, you know, the biggest thing we see is the frauds are still on the rise. They're doing all kinds of things.
Getting more sophisticated.
Yes, more sophisticated. They're getting harder to track. You have all these blockers nowadays from the internet to your phone, so it's hard to track these numbers. They'll use a number for a short amount of time, and then they turn it off and they go to another number. It's just really, really complicated. So our best defense is a good defense, and that's why we try and get out and educate the public as much as we can, because if we can educate the public not to fall for it, then hopefully we'll reduce that. And, you know, one of the big things we're looking at right now is this year, the first half of the year, I've actually seen a little bit of an increase in crime. And the majority of it are unlocked vehicles.
Yeah.
And we've been trying to educate the public for the longest time. Please,
some people just get complacent. Yeah.
And I've said this before. I'm happy that the people feel safe enough to leave their doors unlocked.
But don't do it.
But don't do it, because a lot of our criminals are crimes of opportunists. They're going to come by and shake a door. If it's open, they're going to go through it. And we've had everything from cars rummaged through to firearms being stolen. Actually, in the last week and a half, out of 4 of the unlocked vehicles that we've had broken into, 4 firearms were taken from them.
See, now, right there, you know, if you're going to keep a firearm in your vehicle, that's imperative that you make sure that it's locked when you get out. And again, they're mostly just going after the unlocked vehicles. They're not breaking into any others, are they?
No, the large majority are unlocked vehicles. Now, we do have some incidents where you're going to see car windows smashed.
If they see something in the vehicle.
If they see something in the vehicle, there is a group that works basically out of the East Coast, and they'll come over the West Coast and work the whole coast. And they'll normally hit your gyms, they'll hit your parks, they'll hit your churches, anywhere they know that the people will go in and normally leave their property in their car. And a lot of people do. They'll leave their purses, wallets, computers. They'll leave it in the car. The person walks up, and it's a matter of seconds. They look in the car. They see it sitting on the seat. They smash the window, grab it. They're gone.
That quick.
That quick.
So, in regards to the jail, what we're looking at how many deaths over the last 5 years, 6 years?
Over the last 5 years, I've been kind of keeping track since I came in office here. Over the last 3.5 years, I've had 5 deaths. I've had 3 natural deaths, and I've had 2 suicides. 2 of the individuals that committed suicide had jumped headfirst over the top tier of one of the housing pods. We're working with the county right now. I talked to the county a few weeks back, and we're looking at what we can do to better fortify that upper level so you can't get over the railing.
A little higher.
Yeah, with some sort of fencing or something along that. But as I told the reporters yesterday, it's something that has to be engineered, because you got to take into consideration the ventilation system, the fire system, sprinkler system. And unfortunately, government moves slow.
Yeah.
And believe me, I'm not at all putting it off on the county, because I've got a great relationship with the county. The county does own the jail. I just operate.
So you have to go through them.
So I have to go through them for that facility update. And you know, you have to go through bidding processes.
Yeah.
So there's a whole array of things you need to do before you actually start the job.
How does that death rate compare to jails around the state of Florida of similar size?
Actually, we're not above the average. We're pretty much right in line. There's some statistics out that we're looking at suicides within jails and prisons, and they're finding that about 46 out of 100,000 commit suicide within the jail, and 15 out of 100,000 commit it within a prison. And what they're relating that to is those who come to a jail. When they come to a jail, we can have anything from a trespass to a homicide. And when we get them, a lot of the times we don't know about them. We don't have their history. So we're learning about them. We're learning about their mental state, their physical state, their charges, a whole plethora of things. And we're kind of building a file on them to classify them as to what type of an inmate they're going to be. When they go to the prison, that file is handed off to the prison so they know the type of person they're getting, so they can better prepare for them. Now, another reason they're saying that some of the suicides are up too is within the jails is you'll see a lot of people are their first-time offenders, and it hits them real hard, and they get into a depression. So it's like a shock and awe, and they're seeing higher suicide rates there. And actually the 2 that had committed suicide within my jail, they were the first time they were arrested. So we're dealing with that.
Mm-hmm. And how mental health issues seem to be a big concern as well. With a lot of people with mental health winding up on the streets, wind up in the jail. How many? What percentage, if you know, of your inmates have documented mental health issues?
Well, at any given time, a quarter to a third of my population is diagnosed with a mental illness. There has been some statistics out there that show that in some prisons and jails, it's as high as 60% are diagnosed with some sort of mental illness and or addiction.
Which can definitely bring on some mental illness,
yes,
too.
Absolutely.
And how do your officers train for that?
Well, this is something we've started to do for years. When I came into office, we kind of picked it up, and what we're doing is crisis intervention training. We've teamed up with Charlotte Behavioral Health, and we're kind of teaching our deputies, our law enforcement, our detention staff, and our communications operators, because they field the phone call first. Mm-hmm. So we're training them in the CIT training, and basically what it shows them is how to deal with somebody, recognize and deal with somebody who has mental illness, mm-hmm. and then instead of basically arresting them and putting them in jail, trying to divert them to the proper services. Now, when we had our mental health summit about a month or so ago, mm-hmm. I had said this then, is I can get all my staff, 100% of my staff, CIT trained, but if we don't have the funding and the facilities for me to refer them to or bring them to, it's kind of a moot point. Charlotte Behavioral, I believe, does a great job. They're mm-hmm. great partners with us. The County Commission has been great partners. Bill Truex has been spearheading this, and my hat's off to him. So we're doing some really good things here in the county, and we all recognize that we need more services. Charlotte Behavioral is getting ready to break ground on a second facility in North County, so that's going to help. But again, the mental health issue is tremendous right now. They say about 1 in 10 encounters, law enforcement encounters, is dealing with somebody who's dealing with a mental illness.
Well, again, it's a tough job that you do. A lot of people vying for a tough job. How do people get a hold of you? Make a donation? Do you have a website up?
Yeah, I have the website. It's BillPrummellSheriff.com. They can also reach me by email at SheriffBillPrummell at gmail.com. You can donate right on the website. You can mail to my P.O. Box, which I forgot my P.O. Box.
That's all right.
But they can reach me on the website or Facebook or the email.
Okay. And you will also be at our Candidates Forum coming up July 28th?
Wouldn't miss it.
All right. Thursday night, folks, July 28th, 6 p.m. is when the broadcast will begin. We'll have our Candidates Forum for 2016 at the historic Punta Gorda Courthouse, and we'll be asking the candidates questions submitted by you, the public, and all you have to do is just write down your question. Question. Again, no statements, no manifestos. Just questions. Email them to ccspeaks@live.com, and we'll be asking questions of all of our candidates coming up for sheriff, clerk of the court, tax collector, school board, airport authority, and more. Sheriff, I want to thank you very much for coming in, taking the time.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And we'll be back right next after a quick break on News Radio 1580 WCCF.
Harbor Nissan gives back to our community. Each month, Harbor awards 3 charities with a gift of $5,000 each. May's winners are Center for Abuse and Rape Emergencies, Charlotte Harbor Environmental Center, and honor flights to 5 local veterans. Learn how you can participate in this worthy cause to help those in need by going to HarborNissan.com or check out their Facebook page. Harbor Nissan gives back to the community every month with a $5,000 gift. Register your